Hey everyone, this is my Patreon Proud reaction to the first episode of Steins Gate. Now, Patreon Proud reaction basically means it was requested by a Patreon supporter. You can find out more about that on my Patreon if you wish to do so. Now, this show, it's a pretty big anime, like a little bit popular, ranked number 2 on MyAnimeLIst, so I'm a little bit nervous to be reacting to it because, you know, whenever I react to a popular show, sometimes people actually watch it. It's just a scary thing, really. Now, this show, I don't know a huge amount about it. Like, it's a sci-fi anime. I believe there's some kind of time travel element, and the microwave. I'm not sure how important the microwave is, but I definitely remember one being mentioned in, like, little discussions that I glanced at in the past. So, yeah, there's probably a microwave somewhere in there. So, and I think the main character wears like one of those white coats, like a scientist wears. So, I'm expecting science, a decent amount of science. Whether or not it be standard science or a bit strange science, I guess we'll find out. Now, it's probably everything I have to say about the show itself. I should just probably talk a little bit about my format before I get into it. Now, I do not show the anime footage or anything like that in the video itself because I like to avoid copyright strikes. I do a full-length kind of format where you'll kind of want to grab your own copy of it and sneak it up to my reaction. I do have subtitles from the show below next to the timer, so it shouldn't be too hard to do that. And if you really wanted to, you could probably follow along fairly well with just what I provide, but for the ideal experience, you'll definitely want to get your own copy. So, yeah, I mean, it's not often I get to watch one of the most popular anime on MyAnimeLIst, so yeah, let's just get into it and see what awaits us. So, 3, 2, 1, play. Should also mention the timer's not super accurate, like to the millisecond, but it's close enough. I see this is how they start us in. I think we have our protagonist. I imagine that part will make a lot more sense and have a lot more meaning to me if I go back to it after a couple dozen episodes. I also noticed that there was a character that Hanakana voices on the list, so I think that might be her. So that's also something that's cool about this show. Reaching towards that sun. Don't get burned, Icarus. Beginning of the end. Sounds a bit ominous. Or beginning and end, rather. I can't read, never mind. So, are we already on a mission? El Psych, Congru. Yeah. He probably is. It definitely Hanakana. So what is the organization up to? That is pretty amazing. Nakabachi. That does look like a pretty big deal. Oh. Oh no. That would be a skyquake. That sounds terrifying. So she just looks like she's going along for the ride. So, what happened? Is that an enemy, or is he texting you to say he's friendly? The important things. Mayushi? Okay, Mayuri is her name, gotcha. So she's just straight up his childhood friend, no wonder she goes along with this stuff. I can already tell his voice actor performance is going to be pretty fun in this show. She seems excited nonetheless. Even has a, yeah, nice little reflection. As long as you're happy with it. Wow, those eyes, though. Just, yeah, after she looks at you like that, you have to give it to her. Okay. Oak cutting is easier to remember, to be fair. Yeah, Nagabachi, that was important, right? We should go to that. We're on the 7th floor, looks like. So this guy really built the time machine? Or at least has plans for it? Oh no. You should be more careful with things you care about. What's up? What's the problem? Don't make a scene. I couldn't tell you. He just looks away. Getting called out. Well, who doesn't? What makes yours better? Yeah, prove you're not a fraud. Oh. Oh, hello, who are you? You look very important. Like a main character. So, just pulled out of class by a complete stranger then? What, was he? Okay, now you're just confusing me. So he does know her? Okay, he knows of her. You have no proof of that, so calm down. So is this guy just like tuning because it's starting to get that impression? Probably nobody. Just play it off. This is a magic phone. Smooth. I'm sure she'll buy that. I don't think she bought it. I don't remember talking to you unless we're already getting into time travel shenanigans. Because I don't remember that scene you're talking about. I kind of doubt that. Well, just that was our meeting. Or a second meeting, depends on who you believe. It had to have been some kind of time travel thing. Maybe we'll see that later on. Oh, just maybe jump Mayuri. Well, my phone's acting up. Probably, which means you're not sure. Which means something else could have happened to it. Wow. Oh yeah, let's find that thing. Although the value probably drops when you write on it. What is your lab like, by the way? Are you the only member? Oh god. Maybe the organization is making a move. Who is its victim? Definitely wasn't what's her face's voice. You know, the genius girl. It's gonna take me some time to get the names down. I'll get it. In fact, it might have been his voice, but I'm not sure. Oh god. What happened? She looked way too important to die in the first episode. Wait, what? There's no way. Maybe we go back in time to prevent that? Oh god, I already liked her, you can't just... Yeah, what a... Wait, But that didn't sound like her voice, was it? I'll have to go back to that later. But it definitely was not her voice. From the scream. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. Yeah, not just any corpse. Kurisu, yeah. What did you do? He's gonna accidentally travel back in time? With his phone, however that works. Actually, looks more like he stopped time. Or went to a parallel world, one of the two. Definitely confused, but hopefully things make sense as we move forward. Don't ask me, but at least Mayuri's here. Whatever's going on, so that makes it better. Well, I see people. I mean, I saw things from your perspective, so... Oh. Is a building crumbling? Or... Yeah, I'm definitely confused about what's going on. Okay. Yeah, we definitely have her opening here. Yeah, already has definitely a really cool style to it. Yeah, a lot of our main character, I think that's very telling. Although there's a lot of everyone technically, but still. Definitely seeing the time theme as well. Although that goes without saying. The gates. A little bit of English in here. Yeah, a lot of really cool visuals here. Also talk of sorrow, though, so I'm definitely expecting there to be some low points here. Like, okay. Oh god, is he breaking the fourth wall? Is he talking to me? Okay, so this is his lab. I believe that. Yes, you're not gonna get better than no cutting. Okay, so it's a fake name. Cute. Just cute. Yeah, that was a weird way to pronounce that, but I get it. Yeah, now the biggest budget lab ever. Pretty big aspirations. So I'm gonna assume this is before the stuff we saw before. Why are you bringing them into this? I do. It'd be pretty crazy. Well, it's pretty clear. Can you elaborate on what exactly the organization is, please? Because this is just all in your head. He just straight up called him out on his shitty VO2. Really cool pose, man. So Dadu, Mayuri, Kyoma, I think he said he was. What did he just grab there? I guess it was a remote, but... Okay, so no, that did happen then. So yeah, now I'm definitely confused. That's just the kind of thing the organization would do, too. Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Probably not, but it does make me wonder what exactly is going on with all that. Title drop. So, what exactly is the Steins Gate? Oh. Oh. Why'd we turn the TV off? Yeah, he just like the shape of a toy laser gun. Except he reformatted it into a remote. Yeah, why not? Well, I guess it would explain why it sucks then. Yeah, I get it. Oh god, it does look hot out there. And that's a man that's strong. It's still drinking tea or whatever very elegantly. It broke by itself, don't blame me. Brown tubes. Sounds disgusting. Landlord, huh? Probably. Hostage? Okay, that's interesting backstory. Clearly he kidnapped Mayuri, it all makes sense now. The hot summer day. Ooh, Dr. Pepper, huh? I think that actually said Dr. Pepper too, like not even a bland name. Guess it's okay. I see. Oh, graveyard. Huh, that was a visual. Just how strong is your organization? Yeah. Number 8. Microwave. Sure, it's been a long 3.5 years. I think that might be unrealistic to expect that from anyone, regardless of time spent. Okay. So we just ruin bananas? Is that what we do with the device? Any other purposes for it? Yeah, like just very microwave-like. But why are we destroying bananas, though? Well, it's done. God, that is disgusting. Yeah, I'm not gonna eat that. Title drop number 2? It looks just so gross. You couldn't pay me enough. You're braver than I am. Wow, man. I see how it is. I think they've done a pretty good job of giving me a basic idea of what these characters are like. At least I got him out of the house. Lab, rather. Well, why not? Yeah, back to that. Although it's kind of hard to see, a bit of a glare. Well, it's obviously connected to some pretty big stuff, somehow. Of course he does. No, you break them. Yeah, I could imagine what he would have on his phone, so... Last week... Probably should start writing down dates. Huh. Yes. The mystery thickens. A lot's wrong, really. Yeah, it's just... We're getting into time travel. Oh, yeah, we are definitely getting into time travel. Because she is still alive. But I am maximum confused, though. Yeah, looks like we got our ED here. It's kind of going into a void. And more clocks. Definitely reminds me a little bit of Yakusoku Neverland, that show. And just, yeah, can't escape the grasp of time no matter how much you want to. Definitely not going to be a happy-go-lucky show. At least in space, nobody can step on glass. Although space, yeah, that makes sense, because we had the satellite. When it says butterfly, I assume we're talking about the butterfly effect, which is probably going to be, what was I saying? Oh, wow. I was not expecting that to be the end. Yeah, that was the first episode of Steins Gate. It actually went by quicker than I expected it to, just considering what a confusing kind of info-focused episode it was. So, let's see, where do I start with this? So first of all, yeah, pretty good first episode. It did its job well of getting me invested and wanting to find out more about what's going on, I would say. Now, the very first scene was just kind of a monologue by our protagonist here, Okarin, as his child friend calls him, which I might call him for a little bit until I get more used to his name, or like his fake name persona. Just because I think even that one Kyoma whatever thing, I think he even said that was his fake name. Well, he didn't say that. It was just... he said that was a name he preferred, and then I think she mentioned his real name as well. So like three names going on for him currently. But anyway, the very first scene we got was him monologuing, and a lot of it, you know, I can't make too much sense of, but the final bit of it when he says something about like God's warning for those that rebel or something like that, I think I can take that as being time travel related, like, you know, because time is supposed to be a straight line, and if you try to wivy-wavy around it, that could be seen as rebelling against the natural order of things. Like, I think that may be what that is, because that's probably the only real bit of that I can make any sense of. And then we had Mayuri kind of very deliberately reaching towards the sun, which is very clearly, like, yeah, if you fly too close to the sun, you get burned, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think that may be kind of foreshadowing some trying to obtain things that they shouldn't kind of thing, you know, and probably resulting in a lot of failure. Because, you know, any kind of time travel stories, things a lot of the time don't go super well. Like, the protagonist will have an idea in his head of what he wants to do using time travel to do it, but it doesn't quite work out because of whatever reason, you know, you didn't expect multiverse theory or just, you know, whatever. Like, because there are different types of time travel. I don't remember the different names, like closed loop theory, just... I'm probably going to get a bunch of terms mixed up in my head, but hopefully you kind of get what I'm trying to say here. The point is, time travel usually does not work out the way you planned, is the only real point I was trying to make there, and I think that may be kind of foreshadowing some of that. So one of the first scenes we get, our protagonist here, he went to, I guess, a lecture from someone that apparently had some kind of time travel theory that he was explaining, and he kind of calls him out on similarities between that and the John Teeter, however you pronounce that thing from before, which I don't really know much about that, but I think they're referencing a real thing with that. So, and he very clearly averted his eyes, he definitely took some, at least a little bit, maybe a lot of inspiration from that. But he's clearly trying to downplay it, you know, because he's kind of being embarrassed in front of his class kind of situation here. So they're getting a little bit into it. He may end up being a big enemy later on if he holds a grudge, perhaps. And yeah, we actually had a girl kind of pull him out of class. Like, I'm definitely going to go back to that part. What does she say when she does it? Because I think it was pretty much right after he started to ask for differences in the theories. Yeah, she just straight up grabs him and pulls him out of class as if they know each other, you know? But they don't, supposedly. And yeah, he doesn't know who she is. I mean, he's heard of her because I guess she's like from a magazine or whatever. But it seems like she has had interactions with him, though, which is a confusing thing. Yeah, right here she says, back there you were going to tell me something. But no, we saw no such thing. It is possible there's just a memory gap thing, because... you know, why not? He talked about that before. But I think the memory gap is just kind of a symptom of time travel, like more than actual literal memory issue. So either way, it's still very much time travel related, I think. She most likely talked to a version of him that came back in time, probably with like a warning for something, and because he's trying to make things work out, maybe trying to avoid her dying, you know, getting stabbed to death, but it didn't work because, like I said, time travel generally doesn't work the way you want it to, and he probably failed to do that. That's probably what's going on here. And just, yeah, why'd they have to stab her? Like, she seems nice enough. Like, who did she piss off enough to just get killed, unless they just stumbled upon something they shouldn't know about, maybe some kind of government conspiracy. The organization, if you will, maybe they started to get into that, because they tried to make it seem like that was just his chuny, crazy, delusional ramblings. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. There wasn't exactly a lot of comedy in the episode, but there was still some good stuff there. Like when she takes the phone from him and notices it's off because he's talking to himself. Because he's a chuny, you know, he is what he does. And I think just his attempt to kind of play that off, he said something like, you know, when somebody else touches it, of course it just gets turned off, you know, for safety precautions and all that. That was pretty good. I was actually thinking something similar as a possible excuse, but he was a bit more creative with it than anything I could have come up with. I would have just said, like, she actually pressed a button, you know, like something like that, but I think he made it sound a bit cooler than that. MyOD did drop her little Oopa thing. Well, she lost it, and I'm gonna just go on a limb here and assume it wasn't just lost, it was probably deliberately taken, again, by a time traveler for some end, like, wanted to make her do something, like, figured if he took it from her, she'd go look for it, so she'd, you know, leave the area she was already. I don't know. Like, I can't think of anything specific, but I feel like first episode, I feel like they gotta have a lot of like stuff in it that makes more sense later on. So I'm just gonna kind of assume almost anything that looks even slightly weird has a reveal behind it. Just kind of way I'm looking at things now. And the way she was like probably when talked about whether or not she dropped it or not. So yeah, I'm gonna go run with the theory that she did not actually drop it. It was just taken from her by a time traveler, because that just sounds so much more logical, doesn't it? So why not? Speaking of why not, that WhyNot's fan subs are actually the version I'm using for this, you know, like the Blu-ray version, their stuff. Probably should have mentioned that at the beginning. But anyway, that was around the time where things kind of stopped making sense, and then we see Kurisu just stabbed dead, which definitely surprised me because she like looked like a really important character, you know, and just dying like 2 minutes after we met her, that's not okay. Like, I liked her, like you can't just do that. But we saw her alive later on, you know, to add to the confusion. And then we have, yeah, his phone's being all staticky. He suddenly is all alone in the streets. There's a satellite that apparently crashed at some points, and he's like, everyone disappeared. And I think Mallory was saying, like, no, they didn't, I think. And just, yeah, very, very confusing. Like, it seems like he has gaps in his memory. And I don't know, just there's not much I can say about much of that because it's just too much to really put together in my head, too much misinformation. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense over time. We did get to see a look into his lab. He already kind of warned us it wasn't exactly the most high budget thing. But yeah, we have our chuny leader over here. We have our resident hacker over there. You know, pretty stereotypical for the most part from what we've seen so far. And MyOD, kind of like the childhood friend that just sticks around with him because she's a hostage. I think she said, I don't know if there's any meaning I could extract from that or if it was just a joke, but it was certainly amusing. So I guess these are like the only 3 members, you know. Since Kurisu's alive, we'll probably rope her into joining us, you know. I don't see why not. She looks like such a main character, she's got to be heavily involved. Like, more so than any other character, like the bald man with the TV landlord, like, more important than him, just, yeah. She's important. Just, yeah, our leader just strikes poses, says crazy things. We apparently have a microwave, which I'm not exactly sure what the use of that is. I mean, the use of it's just to destroy bananas. I don't know what the end game of that is, what that really allows us to do, but it's a thing we have. You know, if the TV's ever broken, we could just watch the microwave. It's about as fun, I would say. So the confusion spiked back up when they started to actually talk about the mysterious satellite that crashed into the building. Because, yeah, we saw him go to that, you know, what was he called? Nakabochi, the guy, the time travel theory. We went to his press conference, and that's where we obviously met Kurisu, you know? She pulled him out of there and everything like that. And yet, yeah, the mysterious satellite just crashes into that building, and he's like, what are you talking about? The thing was canceled. You never went. You know, you complained about it. But we clearly did, so this is some kind of discrepancy here. I don't quite get what's going on. Even if I try to add time travel context to this, it's still a bit confusing. Like the satellite is a big thing. Like, they call it, like, a mysterious satellite, so I think they phrase it that way, like on the news report. And if that's the case, then it wouldn't just be like, that means that they don't know the origin, right? Which would mean that it probably traveled through time to get here. Maybe, I don't know. It's really hard for me to make sense of a lot of this stuff, but yeah, just time travel. It's crazy. It's all wibby wobby. It's a thing. There's not really much point in talking about it here because there's too much we don't know. But clearly, clearly time travel is going on. Either the version of him's coming here to doing things, or he actually traveled forward in time, or he moved over to a different timeline and back over. I don't know. I don't know. There's so much I don't know. So there's not much I can say really on that. But anyway, we'll just move past that. We saw the landlord guy. You know, he's not much to say about that really. He does like, our protagonist does like Dr. Pepper. Which, yeah, it's just straight up Dr. Pepper, not Dr. Popper or Dr. PP, it's just Dr. Pepper. You know, apparently the drink of intellectuals, you know, just fair enough. And the microwave. I really don't see what's so important about the microwave, what that could be used for, like in the grand scheme of things. It's beyond banana destruction. I quite like the dramatic way we finished off the episode, just... First of all, with something simple like the messages going back in time, and then we just show Kurisu alive and well, just waiting there, just kind of coming back from the dead. But yeah, if there's any doubt that there was time travel stuff before that, it was probably just confirmed at that point. So yeah, that was a lot for him to take in. Just, this is a rough day. It's a rough day for him for sure. And I am looking forward to seeing how they explain some of this stuff. And also, I quite appreciate our hacker, what was his name? Dadu, something like that. Just not missing an opportunity to make Hanakana say something lewd. Just, yeah, I can respect that. But yeah, we're definitely going to get Kurisu as part of our lab. I'm not sure how he'll convince her to join it, but he will somehow. Maybe he'll lie. Maybe she'll just believe some of the tuning nonsense he says, and then when she's already there, we don't let her leave. You know, she becomes hostage number 2. That would make a lot of sense. But anyway, yeah, just... Very, very interesting first episode. Very confusing, a lot of confusing stuff, which kind of comes with the territory with sci-fi time travel stuff. And it'll be interesting to see how things unfold, and how our relationship with Kurisu develops, because she seems quite nice. So, and if she's really a genius, she would be an invaluable asset to the team, to the lab. Maybe we'll find a good use for the microwave with her help. So, yeah, we'll definitely see it. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.